Hey guys, it's Abookhaven here, and today I will be reviewing Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. So for all you guys who have not read it, just a warning, this will contain spoilers, but first I will re-explain the summary, and you guys should go check it out. So the main character, Mare Barrow, her world is divided by blood. Red and silver. They were always told that the silvers were superior and that the reds, they were basically like servants and slaves, and they were the minorities. The reason this was said was because the silvers, they were the only ones that had powers. One day, the unexpected happens. She has powers, but she's a red. And then the book just goes on telling about how the royals weave a web of lies and try and conceal how they may have powers. So if you haven't read it yet, go check it out. I really recommend it. It's a great book. It's amazing. It's just such a wonderful book. Hopefully whoever's left has read Red Queen. Sorry, homophones there. But whenever I started it, I sort of thought it was a bit slow, but I understand why it was taking a while to get into it, because it's the very first book. She has to establish the world, establish what's happening, and all that type of stuff. So, she did a great job on that. And whenever Killorn and Mare went and watched a silver pavilion fight, that's what really introduced what silvers can do. That's the reason why the silvers rule, because they can just destroy the reds and they won't even think about it. So later, like I'd say 30 pages later, whenever Mare meets Cal, Cal, to me, just seemed like he was up to something. I don't know why, but it just sort of seemed like that. And then whenever he got her a job at the palace, I was like, yeah, he's certainly up to something. Basically, she showed tons of silvers that even reds can fight back. Like, oh my gosh, whenever Mare's powers were first unleashed, I was just like, yes, finally! I was so excited because I'd heard so many amazing things about this book, and I was like, when's it gonna get to that part, And finally, whenever I did, I was like, it was so amazing. Probably the most intricate part of it was whenever the Queen and the King decided that instead of coming out with the truth, they would lie that Mare was just some dead general's daughter, and that she'd gotten lost and reds had taken care of her. I'm sorry, but maybe the silvers aren't that smart to rule, because you should not keep things from your people, because whenever you do, it's just going to create backlash. And when the Queen and King said that Mare was going to marry Maven, I was a bit wanting Cal, but at the same time I was wanting Maven to, be her love interest, because, they're very intricate characters, and they just sort of got her. And then, come to find out at the end of the book that Maven was just faking the whole time. I did not see that plot twist coming at all. Literally, I usually have a good time at like semi-guessing or even guessing the plot twist at the end of the book. This one just blew me out of the water. It was just like totally unseen, because Maven seemed like such a perfect person for Mayor. It just was unfathomable that the character you're supposed to be rooting for was so evil, so twisted. And then whenever he had Cal kill his own father, and so did his mother, that was just such a sick thing. It was such a twisted thing, and that's really what made it seem like a reality that Maven was not who you thought he was. And just me thinking about if I was in Cal's shoes, I just don't know how I would have reacted. I probably would have gone berserk. Finding out that your brother has been plotting against you basically his whole life, that would just be a hard slap to the face. It's just this is why I say it is such an amazing book. It like takes my words away, because it just so completely knows what it's doing with itself. Like, whenever it's in the middle of the book, you're like, I don't really know what's happening in here, you know? Like, how's this gonna end? You just don't know. And then, whenever you think you do know, it just pulls the rug out from under you. And that, guys, is what makes an amazing book. This book is what makes all books want to be. It sort of set the tone for, instead of just being faking her life, it was deceit, it was untrustworthiness, it was lies, it was amazing. And at the very, very end, whenever Cal and Mare were sentenced to have to fight against tons of silvers to the death, that could not have ended even more perfectly. It just showed that they still wouldn't give up. They still fought. Even whenever death was knocking on their door, they still tried and they fought. And then whenever it left off on that cliffhanger, I was like, I need the second book! Why did you do this? Oh my gosh! I was like freaking out, because luckily for me though, I only had to wait 3 months for the second book, and you know, 3 months is better than a year, and now I'm finally getting on to this book review, and I just like to tell you guys that I definitely recommend this book. This book is amazing. You need to read it, reread it, whatever, just internalize it. And also, since I've done the first book, I'm going to be doing the 2 other books, The Glass Sword and King's Cage. So just keep in tuned and watch for those. And make sure to vote on what books, after I'm done with the trilogy reviews, that you want to do next. Bye!